Oh, fantastic.
My own real tears are my...
Season 2, episode 106, February 2nd. 105, I said was February 2nd. It's really February 1st. So I want to make sure I clear that up because I don't want to start World War III, you know, the next great American fire started by a cow knocking over the lantern. I'm just going to pick up the lantern and fucking shatter it over my husband's head because he beats me. Mr. O'Leary, he beats me with his hands and his hoe. And his hoe holds a hoe. What is this shit? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Enjoy the show. Up, here we go. See? Oh my God. Stop.
Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops?
Not me. My own real tears are my relief. Ask your eye doctor about Tearvia.
Embark on a journey to economic prosperity. Join Darrell as we witness into the power of community. Hear the voices of entrepreneurs, visionaries, and youth striving for success. Our America in the Black. Now streaming.
Yeah, it's about...
Watch Robbie Basewall on ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 5.
with his dick.
It's live with Kelly and Mark. Today, Academy Award-winning actor Sam Rockwell plus Chef Melba Wilson takes over the live kitchen to help us celebrate the beginning of Black History Month. Also, tips for keeping your memory sharp as we wrap up our Super Seniors Week.
Oh my God.
Good morning, Friday, February 2nd, 2024. You like what I say like that?
Or 2024 as the rest of us call it.
That's what it is. I've been saying it the correct way, and January was a wash with Stump Mark.
Well, we'll find
going
out.
Back.
We'll find out.
And February 1st started off really well.
We've got your numbers, so we're going to read them when we get to trivia, right?
Yeah.
We've got his trivia numbers.
And of course, today is National Wear Red Day, as you can see. Bringing awareness to women's heart health. It's supported by the American Heart Association. 1 in 3 deaths for women is caused by cardiovascular disease. The good news is that 87% could be prevented.
Yes,
so
that's right.
This is the month to create awareness.
We've been focusing a lot on things to do for our health here, especially for Super Seniors Week, and so a lot of the nutritional and exercise tips that we've given this week have been,
I think, very helpful.
Very helpful.
Yeah, very helpful.
For that as well. I've got to tell you something that I have now discovered that I have an allergy that Mark has been ignoring for our entire marriage. Okay, 28 years he's been ignoring this. I'm allergic to cold weather.
Okay. All right. So how I have ignored that? By making you live in New York?
Well, not by making
you
me
moved
live in
for
New
the soap
York,
opera,
but by keeping our bedroom cold, by keeping it unusually cold.
It's good sleeping cold.
No, it's not. That's your opinion.
There are people that are, in fact, allergic to cold temperatures, cold water temperature, cold in their mouth.
Really?
Cold, yes.
You don't like ice cream?
No, like blue balls.
I let ice cream melt because I don't like it.
Right,
cold.
you just eat cream.
Yeah. If you notice that I will have a runny nose for...
So he goes, you just eat cream. So when ice cream melts a little bit, he thinks it just becomes cream. The fuck is this wrong?
Cold water temperature, cold in their mouth.
Really?
Cold, yes.
You don't like ice cream?
No, I let ice cream melt because I don't like it.
You just eat cream.
Yeah. If you notice that I will have a runny nose for 8 hours after I've been out in the cold, like hours and hours, like way
Same.
longer.
If I go outside and on a run or a jog and it's cold, my nose just runs.
Yeah, but then you come in and you wipe your nose, you blow your nose, and it ends. For me, it just keeps happening.
I know you never blow your nose, and then about 15 minutes of me listening to. I bring over a tissue. I said, "Would you like one of these?" She's like, "Oh yeah." Like, what is that? I go, it's a tissue. They invented these things that you blow your nose into so you can stop making that noise.
So you're going to continue to ignore my allergy.
Hey, this simple 2-minute exercise can lower your blood pressure, a study finds.
Okay.
All right, ready? A wall sit. That's right. A wall sit. For 2 minutes, isometric hold will lower your blood pressure.
Gilman, why don't you go over there and wall sit for 2 minutes?
Yeah, I did it earlier.
Do it again. Let's try to lower your blood pressure even more.
That's a long blood pressure.
Okay, start it now.
2 minutes is long. So they say doing about 8 minutes of isometric exercise 3 times a week can lead to a healthy reduction in blood pressure. Did not know that.
You have good blood pressure.
I do.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have this problem.
Nope.
We talk about sleep here a lot, but if you're looking for a good night's rest, you should head to California. California is reportedly the best sleep state in the country.
Why is that?
I don't understand why. They just had studied 5,000 Americans, split evenly amongst the states. They asked respondents the average of their quality of sleep, how many nights of sleep it take, how many hours it takes them to fall asleep at night, what their average sleep times are per night. Yeah. California came out on top, followed by South Carolina and New York.
No,
yes.
No,
yeah.
New York. No
well,
way.
New York is a whole state.
Speaking of sleep, study reveals the most bizarre activities people carry out while asleep. Okay. A new study of 10 different parasomnias, the various sleep disorders that consist of undesirable physical displays.
Hang on a second before you get to that.
2 minutes is up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. How do you feel? My blood pressure feels very low. It feels my legs are sore now. Yeah. They asked me if I wanted to do that. I said, I'm not doing that. Here are the.
And how do you know that? Well, because I'm Jewish and we know everything.
How do you feel? My blood pressure.
States with best night.
Feels very low. It feels my legs are sore now.
That's what
they
his
asked me if
paper
I wanted
says.
to do that. I said, I'm not doing that. Here are the top 10 activities performed while asleep.
Okay.
Sleepwalking. I don't think we've never done any of that.
No, we don't.
How would you know that?
Handling sharp objects.
You wouldn't know that.
Laughing or crying. We do that.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. You'd laugh. Talking in full sentences. I've never heard you talk in full sentences.
You told me the other day.
That's because you've been sleeping while I'm doing it. That's because you're sleeping when I do it.
Yeah, you'd laugh. Talking in full sentences. I've never heard you talk in full sentences.
You told me the other day.
Stop it.
Stop it is a full sentence. Just like no is a full sentence.
Talking gibberish. I've heard some gibberish.
I've heard gibberish come out of you too. I've heard gibberish in many languages come out.
Eating. While I've heard that. Sleep eating. That's not great. Hitting. People like get in a fight and they slam. They're violent. You know.
I don't hate.
No, I'm not saying you do.
I nudge you when you're snoring.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Moving hands. You don't do that, but you do have a little foot that goes. A little bit. Is that restless foot thing? You have that. You have that.
Restless foot.
Restless leg syndrome.
I've heard of restless leg syndrome. I don't think I have that.
And this
I
one,
think he's
this one's my favorite. Having sex.
while sleeping.
While sleeping. Listen, both.
Somebody has to be awake.
I think he's talking about having sex with himself. I think he's talking about masturbating or having like a sexual dream where you're like fucking humping a pillow, or a girl might be like, humping a pillow, or your sheets, or your nightstand, or maybe your dog. Maybe that counts. You put your dog, you put little Lucy or whatever her name is in between your plunger.
This one's my favorite. Having sex.
While sleeping.
While sleeping. Listen, both.
Somebody has to be awake.
Look at this little girl.
Anyway.
Oh, I thought you had to be like 18 and over to get in. Maybe you only have to be like 13 if you got a parent, because this little girl is listening to adults talk about having sex. She's like, Mommy, I want to try sex.
Restless leg syndrome. I don't think I have that.
And this one,
I want to try sex. For all I know, she could be 16 and just
sex.
like 13.
While sleeping.
While sleeping. Listen, both.
Somebody has to be awake.
Right there. Look at this. Like, ha ha ha, laugh. Like, look here, this girl. Tell me if you think she's 18 or over. Like, what are the rules? Because she could be a very short, young-looking 18-year-old, but like she's laughing. Like, how old this girl that looks under 18 that is forced to listen to these two old strangers talk about sex and in front of her mom? That's like watching Basic Instinct at the movie theater with your dad. You're kind of like, I don't know what to do. Or going to see American Pie. Like, she's kind of laughing, but she's looking down like she's uncomfortable. The mom is just flat out like, oh my gosh. She's like almost upset at them. Like, how dare you? And even now, look, now she's laughing. Now she's looking at the monitor to watch herself. And now she's like checking to see, oh my God, am I on camera? And then she sees herself, and now she's watching herself on the monitor, and she's looking at her mom's face. And now she's really awkward because now mom is mad. And is she mad at me because I'm laughing and I shouldn't be laughing at that? Like, she's going to think, why are you laughing at that? How do you know what that means? But the mom is clearly, and she looks like fucking, like a young mom. She looks like she's like 33. So if this girl's 18, that means this girl had a kid when she was like, probably not 15. She would just be a younger. Look, if this girl's 18 and she looks like she's like 13, this mom could easily be 38 and look like she's 30, which would mean she had the kid when she was 20. Or if you got to be like at least 13 years old, or then if this girl's 13, she could have had a kid when she was like 19, and she could be 32. But definitely, you would have never guessed she had a teenage daughter. Very uncomfortable. Oh my God. Butterflies coming home.
Listen, both.
Somebody has to be awake. To be awake.
She's clapping.
Anyway.
The mother's hands are clapping, but her eyes are giving you the middle finger. Her eyes are clapping, but her hands are giving her head's giving the middle finger. And
anyway.
Look, oh my God, there's Mark Hargitay from SVU. That is Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order SVU. Look at her. Look at that. She got a wig on, and she obviously like put a little makeup on. But yeah, that mom, her hands are clapping, but her face is giving the middle finger.
Anyway, Sam Rockwell is here today.
One of the greatest actors of our generation,
One of the greatest actors of our generation is here.
Yep.
Now, I spoke to his beloved Leslie Bibb yesterday on my podcast. Season 2 is coming shortly. And here's what you should know. She revealed some things about Sam. Okay? She told me, I asked her, I said, what's the sexiest thing about Sam? And she goes, well, there's several. I won't get into the other ones because I want to focus on this one. She said he's got a great tush. And I said, oh, what's so great about it? She goes, it's high and tight. And I go, oh? And I said, do you mind if I ask him to prove it on TV? And she goes, it would be rude not to.
I love him. He's great.
We're going to get to
And I love his tush.
We're going to get to the bottom of his bottom.
That's right. Also, strive for more in 24. Super Seniors Week continues with Jenna Quick. And tips for keeping your memory sharp. Definitely need that.
Tips for keeping our memory sharp. If we could just remember to ask him the questions, we wouldn't need these tips. Also, Chef Melba Wilson will be here sharing a traditional recipe for buladici, red rice, and sausage in honor of Black History Month.
Starving. I am so hungry.
She feeds us.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, she feeds. Say the word soul. Say she feeds your soul. Right? Come on, placate.
Buladici, red rice, and sausage in honor of Black History Month.
Starving. I am so hungry.
She feeds us.
Oh,
Whenever she's here, we definitely get fed.
I can't wait.
Okay, and it's finally February. We're putting January in Mark's rear view. But before we do, it's time to reveal Mark's January mug results. Would you like to know?
Yeah.
Remember, everyone, in episode 105, after someone wrote in and said that they were keeping track and they were flipping a quarter. They were comparing the statistics of the quarter being correct, which is 50-50, and his guesses being correct. And the quarter was 66% correct, and he was 33% correct, right? And then right after that, like 10 seconds later, he goes to, and this is in episode 105, which is the episode before, so it's technically yesterday's episode in quotations, yesterday's episode. He tells Gelman, oh, we're going over my results for January tomorrow. He goes, I'm gonna guess it's in the 30s, for sure. Well, the guy just told you, gave you a sample of data that says you were in the 30s. So it's not really quite the fucking prediction there, Oda Brown. So let's see if he mentions it again to try to make sure to refresh everyone that he's guessing it's in the 30s. So that way, when his terrible percentage comes up, he's still gonna fucking somehow make it seem like, see how smart I am? I guessed my bad percentage. And he keeps on comparing himself to baseball when he has like 54% or 52%. He goes, if I were a baseball player, I'd be in the Hall of Fame because I'd be batting .520. Well, guess what? If you were 33% right, you'd be batting .330 or .333. That's still Hall of Fame numbers. So I don't know why you're sounding like .333 is bad. If you're comparing yourself to a baseball player, this would be a perfect time for you to be like, hey, that's good. Hey, if I had 33%, if I was batting .333, I'd win a batting title most of the time. So, there are people that have won batting titles with a less average than that. So that's good. Like, I'm surprised why he's just all over the place with his bullshit lies. That's how you can tell. He's not only is it when someone's a bad liar. See, at least if you're a good liar, I'll give you props. But if you're a bad liar, you ain't getting no flowers, motherfucker. You're just a shit. Look at his face. He's like confused. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Look at him staring. He's reading the fucking teleprompter. And he's like, what language is that? He's busy thinking about Leslie. You know what? That look right now, he's staring at the prompter. All he could think about is Sam Rockwell's high and tight ass. See, he can't get Sam Rockwell's ass out of his mind.
Reveal Mark's January
I just can't get it out of my mind.
Would you like to know?
Yeah. They dim the lights.
They dim the lights because this is the breaking news everybody's waiting for. Your January average.
I'm going to say it's 375.
Is Mark. 0.409.
So not only does he think that's a bad score, which it is, but he's still acting like it's bad. But he wasn't even right when he said it would be in the 330s. He said yesterday it would be in the 30s, and he fucking cheated. That's like someone who cheats on the ACT and still gets a fucking 12. You cheat on your test and you still get a D? He's like, well, I passed. He said he was going to be in the 30s with someone giving him the answers, and he's still fucking wrong.
Coin toss.
Your December average was 0.5.
Oh, man. Good. Keep fucking beating his ass, fucking loser.
It's worse than a coin toss.
Your December average was 0.579, so clearly this wasn't
Something
your best
happened,
month.
yeah.
Now,
Oof.
your career average. Oh boy.
That took
You know,
a hit.
January really gave.
Oh God, it's going to drop to less than 50. 472, 473, 463.
You a hit.
Yeah.
Your career average is 0.562.
Yes. Beating the coin. Smarter than coin. Barely.
Not actually, because the coin was correct 66% of the time.
Beating the coin. Smarter than coin. Barely.
Smarter than a coin. That should be the new T-shirt logo. Smarter than a coin.
Yeah, that's not really something to brag about. That's like beating a fifth grader and Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And celebrating and rubbing it in his face like, haha, I'm smarter than a 10-year-old. Take that, you little shit cocksucker bitch. Give your mother my number.
Yeah, the
All right. Well, it is that time again. It is time to play.
Let's say hello to Catherine Troop from the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx, New York, who watches the show on WABC. Good morning, Catherine. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, Kelly and Mark. Good morning to you both. I've been waiting so long for this call.
All right.
Wait no more. Wait no more. Hey, where are you there with that nice steer?
That was actually down in...
I'm at the Bull Museum of South Dakota.
That was actually down in Hudson Yards.
That's very cool.
Every once in a while, like if you go around the city and you try to find all the cows.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. All right.
I've seen that steer right there at Hudson Yards.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how this game works. You've given us two statements. One is true, one is false. I have 60 seconds to decide which is the truth. If you stump me, you win this. All right, Catherine, you know I'm really doing well in February so far. I'm off to a great start.
That's
all right?
You're 1 for 1.
1 for 1. Here are your two statements, Catherine.
Okay.
On my wedding day, the rings were accidentally thrown away. Or I married the same man 3
All
times.
right, this is easy. The wedding day, the rings were actually accidentally thrown away is the truth. That seems a little odd. It seems more likely than 3 times, but they've had this before with marrying the same person. So it might have been renewing the vows, or maybe they did get divorced because they got married young and they got married again. Then they got divorced again when they were like in their 50s. And then they decided to get married again like in their 70s because they were both lonely. They didn't find anyone. It's like, well, we already know each other. We don't hate each other. Why don't we just live together better than living alone? And then maybe they just got married and said, fuck it. It's just a formality at this point. Their kids are grown. The kids will like it. That's what I think. I think the truth is that she was married 3 times to the same man. I think the wedding day is no. I think that that's a lie. The truth is on the wedding day, their rings were accidentally thrown away. But the part she's leaving out is that they got them back. So they were accidentally thrown away. But then, like, you know, once they discovered that, they went in the garbage, and like 10 minutes later, they went through the garbage and they found them. So they were able to use them. That's what I think. So I'm going to say the truth is that on your wedding day, your rings were accidentally thrown away, but you got them back.
Yep.
All right, talk to me about this. Did you divorce him twice?
I did not. We eloped the first time.
Okay.
And then I felt very guilty several years later because my parents were not able to come.
Okay.
And so we married again.
So,
Okay.
And
renewed your
then
vows.
when you're married 50 years, you can get remarried in St. Patrick's Cathedral.
That's a lie.
Is that true?
That is true.
And how long have you been married?
54 years.
Well, unfortunately, my husband passed away a couple of years ago. It would have been 54 years.
Yes!
Okay. Well, that's a beautiful story.
In your
Talk
face!
about the wedding rings and how you threw them away.
It is in the face.
I didn't throw them away. My future sister-in-law threw them away. My husband was a silversmith, and he actually made the ring.
Oh,
Incredible.
okay.
And on the morning, she was cleaning up, and she threw them down the incinerator.
And what did you use on the day?
Hey, listen, my husband is a good guy. He went down that basement and he dug through that incinerator garbage and he got them.
You got them, yes.
See, same thing. Her dead husband, she wants to talk about him being a hero and talking about something great he did. That's a true statement. I stick to my original answer. Although I don't think she married him 3 times. She might have just, I think she got married once, and then they got married at St. Patrick's, and then that's it. I don't think the second time with her parents present. I think that's the lie. I think her parents were present when she was young. That's what I think.
You're about to lose, Mark.
Listen, I'm a fool for
now he's gonna
good
win.
Love story. I love a love story.
You love love.
I love love. I love love. Catherine, I think that you and your husband got married 3 times.
Oh, Mark, I'm so sorry, but you're wrong.
What did I tell you? Common sense. Common sense. Simple logic.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not sure people eloped back then. Did people elope back then? Did you elope?
What do you
We
mean?
did. We did elope.
You did elope. All right. I thought we invented it.
Your parents eloped.
You thought we invented it? We invented it? People didn't get eloped back then. Look at that. I think I'm like 16 for my last
Sure,
20.
people eloped back then. Did people elope back then? Did you elope?
What do you
We
mean?
did. We did elope.
You did elope. All right. I thought we invented it.
Your parents eloped.
All right.
But you
Congratulations.
notice she said that they eloped, and then they got married the second time because their parents weren't present. So they got married a second time, like 7 years later, when their parents could be there and present. And then the third time, she doesn't actually say they got married. What she like verbatim says is, after the second marriage, she goes, and then after you've been married for 50 years, you can get remarried at St. Patrick's Cathedral. But that statement doesn't say that I married my husband again at St. Patrick's. She just said, you know, when you're married for 50 years, you can get married again at St. Patrick's Cathedral. She didn't finish it by saying, so we did, you know, and that's what we did. She didn't say that. She just said, and then after 50 years, you can get married at St. Patrick's Cathedral. That's not a mission of them getting married there. She just said, if you are, you can, but she never actually said that we did. Interesting shit. Unless she did.
Down the I did not. We eloped the first time,
Okay.
and then I felt very guilty several years later because my parents were not able to come.
That might be the
And
lie
so we
too.
married again.
Okay.
And then when you're married 50 years, you can get remarried in St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Oh.
Is that true?
That is true.
And how long have you been? How long have
It is true, but she never said that that's what she did. Yeah, and sure, after like spending 4 years in college, you get a degree.
Because my parents
That
were
doesn't mean that I spent 4 years in college and got a degree. It's like I went to college for 4 years and got a degree, you know, or something. It's like saying if you go to college for 4 years, you can get a degree, a bachelor's degree. Yeah, you can. That doesn't mean I'm saying I went to college for 4 years and got a bachelor's degree. I graduated grade school, I graduated high school, and then after that, you know, if you go to college for 4 years, you can get a bachelor's degree and graduate a third time. Is that true? Yes, it is. But she's not saying I went to college for 4 years and got a degree. So listen to her words.
several years later because my parents were not able to come.
Okay.
And so we married again.
Okay.
And then when you're married 50 years, you can get remarried in St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Oh.
Is that true?
That is true.
And how long have you been married?
Well, unfortunately, my husband passed away a couple of years ago. It would have been 54 years.
Cool thing.
No.
All right, let's see if we can win you a valuable trip. It's time for Warm It Up Travel Trivia.
fucking remote's gonna be the death of me, man.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure people eloped back then. Did people elope back then? Did you elope?
What do you
We
mean?
did. We did elope.
You did elope. All right. I thought we
If
invented-
anything, more people eloped back then than they did in like the 70s and 80s and the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Those were the fucking decades of big weddings and lifelong commitment. People fucking getting married at 21, 23, 24 and sticking it out. You know what I mean? People didn't really start eloping again until like recently with like the internet and shit, and kids saying like finding out there's some great ways that you could like save money on a wedding, or seeing so much divorce. But those were the decades of people having big, extravagant, fancy, expensive weddings and then getting divorced like 10, 20 years later, 25 years later.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure people eloped back then. Did people elope back then? Did you elope?
What do you
We
mean?
did. We did elope.
You did elope. All right. I thought we invented it.
Your parents eloped.
All right, congratulations.
See, he gets busted with a lie, and then he just has a nervous laugh. And then he goes, "Oh, I was just joking." No, you weren't. You were lying because you're a compulsive liar.
All right, congratulations. You win a mug. And a t-shirt. I thought we invented it. I thought we invented that cool thing.
No.
All right, let's see if we can win you a valuable trip. It's time for Warm It Up Travel Trivia.
I have to get up out of my seat for this one because I'm going to dance now.
We did elope.
You did elope. All right. I thought we invented it.
Your parents eloped.
All right, congratulations. You win a mug. And a t-shirt. I thought we invented it. I thought we invented that cool thing.
No.
All right, let's see if we can win you a valuable trip. It's time for Warm It Up Travel Trivia.
This is where I'm going to dance like the girl that dances. Now, I'm going to do it first, and then I'm going to show her afterwards. Which is the opposite. I'm trying something new. Oh my God.
I mean, gorgeous leg extensions. That's Megan Wooden from New York, New York. Obviously a professional dancer, I'm assuming.
I used to be
I
a
used to
former
be.
professional dancer, yeah.
Until I
Now
got
have
raped and
3
pregnant
kids
by Harvey
and
Weinstein.
a business that I teach kids music and movement classes all over the city.
Incredible.
Julia,
Still flexible. They just spin that wheel to see what.
All right. Now you get to watch her and compare it to what I did and tell me, rate me on a scale 1 to 100 based on how similar I am. Ugh.
I mean, gorgeous leg extensions. That's Megan Wooden from New York, New York. Obviously a professional dancer, I'm assuming.
I used to be a former professional dancer, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have 3 kids and a business that I teach kids music and movement classes all over the city.
Incredible.
Julia,
Still flexible. They just spin that wheel to see what else Catherine's playing. All right, Catherine, you're playing for a great trip. The veranda in Antigua, 7 days, 6 nights in a waterfront suite. It's all inclusive. It's a prize valued at $8,000. You have 20 seconds and only one guest. Good luck.
All right, Catherine. Earlier this week, we talked with Bryce Dallas Howard. What did Bryce say her 3-year-old niece requested she paint a watercolor of?
Oh, a vagina.
A serpent.
A serpent. Well, a serpent, a snake. A snake is just like a dick. And a dick and vagina are practically the same thing to children nowadays. So a serpent is like a snake. Serpent's the same thing as a snake. Snake is like another word for a penis, like code word for a penis when you're around adults or around children. And a penis and a vagina are practically the same thing to children. So I think I was right. Judges, ding!
Catherine, congratulations.
Oh my God, thank you. I think I need to wall sit my blood pressure.
I think I need the wall sit, my blood pressure. If that isn't an Upper East Side accent.
Catherine, congratulations.
Oh my